first of all, like I said, we had to divide this session into two parts. I'm more greedy now because it reminds me of my morning sessions with you. And one thing what I learned from you was like to be punctual, like irrespective of whatever it is, like morning 6:55 means 6:55 you have to be there. So today also when we started at 1:30, my mind was running like 1:31 also. If I miss, I'm sure Nimmy would have reached the place, and it happened. But jokes aside, I think punctuality plays a vital role in theatres, right? I mean,
it does.
Everywhere. I mean, it's a very generic question, but how do you, where do you think an actor per se, like with respect to the punctuality, with the discipline of the regime, so how do you think it really plays with an actor's life?
In a larger perspective, I think, at the end of the day, we are all looking for longevity, isn't it? Just not the health, but also in the creative aspect. We are all looking for how to extend our creative life. Just not living is not going to be very exciting. And I think if anything has to be durable, you need to feed it at this sustained time. And I think that's where punctuality plays a role for me. It's easier for me to know that I will wake up at this time and I'll finish my day before anybody comes and disturbs me. I will finish all of it that has to happen creatively for me. The rest of the time I am available for everyone. I think different actors go through different kinds of process.
Correct.
But I think punctuality for me is the extension of my creative process. And also my skin crawls if I was to be late somewhere. Okay. I don't mind waiting, and but I will not make anybody else wait. Or that is not something that I can do. But in a larger sense, I think it's good to be disciplined, and I think that will give you a framework for things that you have to do creatively. That's what I feel.
How do you write plays? I mean, what's your methodology?
I am not a writer. You know how when you are a student in hostel, one fine morning you'll get up and then you will realize that there is no toothpaste. Then you cut the toothpaste and then you go chack. That's how I write. I don't write because I really want to write. So hence, I don't know how to explain things with a lot of words.
Okay.
I lean more towards poetry than explaining it in other way. But also, I am a very visual person.
Okay.
I see visuals first of whatever that I have to create. If you are preoccupied with an idea, then the visual turns into words. So there is already a translation. It's like looking at a painting, something happens. Sometimes it's an emotional space where there is no words. Sometimes it's an emotional space where there are lots of words. So I look at that image that is forming inside my head, and then the image tells me what I have to write. So I don't know if I can take really credit for saying that I am a writer. I can only write what I see. Offhand, I cannot do it. So it's and I like metaphors, to play with metaphors. So that's how words come to me. Word is only an extension of what I see. It's not the first thing that arrives.
Since you use the word metaphor, do you really think from a writer point of view, I'm just asking, the usage of metaphors in a play or in a rewriting restrict the number of audience, like to a large extent? I mean, why I'm asking is like, I'm bringing it down to the cinema writing, I can say that one. Many a times, whenever I've had the conversations with so many filmmakers or storytellers, they say that when my writing is metaphor, like I'll be restricting my audience per se. When it is like, when I make it into more colloquial way, like, okay, then I'll be able to reach to a larger audience, they say. But do you think in theatre, I mean, in your way, do you really look into this one, or like you just stick to your ground rules and...
No, I think there are multiple ways of looking at this, I feel. it doesn't matter how you write, you use metaphors or not, no metaphors at all. I think the way you approach the content is what's going to give you that sense of, is audience is going to watch it more than one viewing.
Okay.
But I think for theatre, the challenge is that we are not like in cinema. There is no way of archiving our work. When we put a camera, we become the poor cousin of cinema. We have no way of doing this, because cinema has done much more than what theatre can ever do, and it is the medium of our time. I mean, like we cannot think otherwise.
Yeah.
So then what is the strength of theatre? The strength of theatre is the live performer on stage and the content that you bring. And that content has to have the strength to carry over time. So when you write something, when you create your work, we should do it in a way that, from 15 years from now, it will still be relevant.
Absolutely.
And that's the only way of expanding the life of theatre.
Yep.
But that also means it's not only playing with metaphors. You can do it in multiple ways. You just need to encourage your theatre audience to come and say, or any audience who will watch a theatre play, to say that, I saw something, I want to rewatch it. And that's how you extend the life of the theatre, of a theatre production. And I think it's a way. I think it's content. It's content.
No, I'm sure, because the way people consume, I think from writer to writer, and people, off late, people have the mindset. They're very clear about what to consume and what not to consume in their own mindset. They know it very clearly. Their boundaries with respect to the theaters or with respect to the films. In what ways do you see, the world of theater and films intersecting?
See, in what we do, there is cinema.
Okay.
And what they do, there is drama. So it's the way you look at it, I feel.
Okay.
It's also about, we can't ever compete with cinema, because cinema is doing much more than what theatre can ever do. But it's also about creating that wow moment with the performer.
Yeah.
And what does cinema can take from theatre is the skill of the actor. Take the skill of the actor.
Okay.
And for us, cinema is showing what a world could be, the visual world could be. And do we have the skill to show that as a live performer on stage? And I think it happens. It happens in some places. Very beautifully it happens. And I think that's where the intersection comes, I feel. When I watch cinema, I am watching the rhythm, which is also something that we play with in theatre. I am watching what is the filmmaker asking me to view, which is what we do with lights on stage. We open the stage, or we reduce the space. Then what I miss in cinema is that sometimes I feel actors are a little restricted. They might just be wires lying around, things like that. We don't have to worry about that.
I have faced it. Like the very first time when I faced the camera, the amount of flexibility what we do have on the stage, you won't have the same thing in front of a camera, right? Like I'm sure.
No.
So I'm like, why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? The very first time they're like, no, you have to restrict yourself to this frame, to this lens or whatever. That is when you start realizing, this is the way I need to, within this frame, I need to emote. That's another challenge.
Yes.
I mean, the kind of body language what we use in a theater is completely different. So
I think it teaches us a lot, depending on how good we view both the medium. And I think we can take from each other. I know that theatre actors watch a lot of movies. I don't know vice versa happens. I'm not very sure of that.
That's true.
We watch just not for watching.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
watch to study,
Study it.
to learn. For curiosity we do it. But I don't know if the other gaze happens. I'm not very sure. I might just be utterly be wrong, but I think it doesn't happen so
I
much.
think it should happen.
It should happen. It should happen because there is a lot that everybody can learn from it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, could you just share an example of how the collaborative nature of Adi Shakti's approach enhances the what do you call creative output of any of the participants or whoever comes over here?
Well, we ourselves are many different things. So we are just not a company with a space. We are a company which runs a space, which welcomes people, entertains them, makes a menu for them, rehearses inside, does our own research. We do performances here. We take performances outside. So there is a lot of things that happens within this campus, and I think what other people who come here will also. There is one way of learning which is just by looking and absorbing, and there is the other way of like going fully telling. It is Ekalavya who watched or thought he was watching his teacher inside his mind, and Arjuna who needed to be told everything. Right. So I think both can happen here. So it's also about what is told between the lines. And I think artists should be little less logical, I feel. If you apply the reality of logic into arts, then sometimes arts becomes very real. So I don't know. I think the campus offers that it can be real, but it can be also something not real. Some wonderful conversations happen here. You'll meet people who you would have seen somewhere else, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not approachable. People are here sitting, having a beautiful conversation. All of it can intersect. So I think it's a world inside which is moving back and forth in a very beautiful way. So that's what I think. It's also a lived experience, I feel.
And also, yeah, people do talk about the Arjuna's missing Gandiva too.
Yeah, of course. The one that we struggled with. Yes.
Jokes apart. Now let's get into the what do you call administration of how Adi Shakti functions basically. So I mean it's huge something. How does it work basically? How does the administration of an Adi Shakti works?
See, I feel for anything to sustain, there has to be a support system
Correct.
that holds it.
Yeah.
For you to, let's just go from home. For your education to happen, you need to have other systems which will make it happen.
Yeah.
For research, for any kind of activity, for it to bloom, the funding has to happen. That's what holds it together. But funding for arts right now is very difficult.
Yeah.
So that would mean that you have to convince the funder about how your vision is going to be.
Okay.
And if the money comes, then they can always say, this is not how it should be turned.
Okay.
So the best way to go about it is to make your own funding so that you do not have to compromise.
Brilliant.
See, arts is a choice.
Yeah.
It's always remained a choice for us.
Yeah.
Being a theatre actor is a choice that I have made.
Yeah.
So that would mean even if I have to go outside and do something else to fund my theatre work, I'll do that because that's a choice that I have made, and it's a struggle. And I think it will be a struggle creatively, otherwise funding. But the thing is, the fact that funding has to happen is not something that we can take away.
Yeah.
So here we have a system of doing that. We have the building, we have the theatre, we have the guest house. So a lot of our costs are covered. For even to make a festival happen, we do not have to do a lot of funding. Other things gets cut. We only need to pay the artists. But the fact that arts cannot sustain without other kind of support
Absolutely.
is a reality that all of us are facing, still will face in the future. And it's not that in the world there is no money. There's no lack of money. But it's also about the other people's choice of what you want to
What you
fund.
want to,
And that decision you cannot make. Meaning, like, you cannot force anybody to make that
Absolutely.
decision. They have to see the merit in it.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you fund it for the beauty of it.
So,
Not, I think we are caught up with outcome. What is the outcome? And I feel we have to not go for outcome, But it's how it is.
But if some organization or some person, if they have to fund, what are the ways they have to do it?
Adishakthi. you
For
mean?
precisely Adishakthi.
There are multiple ways, you can donate the money or come and be part of Adishakthi workshop. Or there's also money, not as money that we understand. There's also service. There's also a kind of giving to the community. That's also there. But when we usually have an annual festival, which is called the Remembering Meenapani Festival.
In the month of April.
We always need fund for it because we don't make enough money to fund it for ourselves.
What does happen in that festival?
So we invite theatre groups, musicians, circus people. It's an amalgamation of many disciplines that come together, and every little money we get, we pay the artist. Because see, the thing is, when we cast somebody, because there are lots of actors, we take advantage of them, saying that, okay, you are right there, this is an opportunity that I'm giving you, so hence you come and act, and I will not give you money for it. But they also have to sustain,
Absolutely.
isn't it? So what we do is, we do not ever take advantage of artists, because we ourselves are artists. We know how difficult it is to function in this world. So whatever money that we get as donation for the Remembering Meenapani Festival, we give it to the artists who are performing here. So that really depends on each year what amount comes in. And we equally distribute and we give it to the artists. And there is no negotiation there. Adishakthi doesn't take any money from it because that's a policy. And what else can we do? We don't charge tickets. At
It's a
Adishakthi.
free.
It's free. That would mean, so when we get the donation, we are also factoring in that, because we have, Adishakthi have 4 villages that are surrounded. There are kids who are really talented. But the thing is, they have to be exposed to arts in order for them to make that as a career choice. If you're not exposed to it, you don't have the choice, right?
Absolutely.
Information is how do you make information democratic? Sometimes you don't know and you haven't had the opportunity. So what we try to do is, whatever information that we have, we say that this is for everybody to consume.
Wow.
So they come here, they get exposed, and if they're taken by something that they see, it's up to them to make that choice.
Absolutely.
And we are here to help. Yeah. So but it is not forced. It's a gentle way of saying, come.
Please come.
Come and watch and interact and see what you get out of it. And then if you still want to be engineer and a doctor, that's up to you. But there are this choice also.
But do you really think expanding Adishakthi, is it like just restricted to Pondicherry or like any in the future? Like you can have your own different, I don't want to call it as branches, but still hotspots.
I think our hotspots are people who are our associates. You are a hotspot. You have come from all the way from Bangalore, so we know that we can trust you in taking Adishakthi elsewhere.
Yeah.
We are here. It's like a tree that, and you guys are the roots. You are going everywhere, and we know that if there is a chance to help Adishakti, if there is a chance that you get to voice what Adishakti is, we know, we trust everybody who comes here to do that. So we do not have to be elsewhere. We are here. But if we are everywhere, our research might just get diluted.
Diluted. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, so we are here to research, we are here to do that rooted work, and we have to be here. And everybody who's coming here, interacting with us, sharing the knowledge from us, they are the hot spots. So we have people everywhere, and they will share that knowledge.
Wow.
And like you, people will come back.
So, what is the vision for Adishakti down the line in next 5-10 years?
See, the thing is, it's very difficult to say what that is, because we kept getting this question, what is the vision? The vision is to continue to do arts,
Yeah.
continue to do research, continue to excel in the work that we are doing, and to do it without being scared. You know, you have to, that's the freedom that you have to earn, that you are doing something and you're not afraid of it. You're not afraid of anything. And does that have a duration? We don't know, right? We are just hoping that we get to do that till we die. We hope that there are a lot more people who come here, make use of Adishakti as a space, as a creative space, engage, come, write, make work, or just walk around for inspiration, whatever. And we hope that we can protect this bubble for what it is. And if that can continue for a very long time, we would be very grateful. And I think that is the vision today. And it was the vision yesterday. And hopefully it will be for tomorrow.
Wow. Wow. For a minute, my mind stopped working actually, because I was thinking the entire. So, Nimmy, in your opinion, what role does the spirituality play in the creative process at Adishakti, precisely?
Okay, many people can have many different
Yeah.
Opinion on this, but for me, spirituality would mean that I'm conscious.
Okay.
I'm conscious of what I am doing right now. And for me, I am very, very conscious of what I do as a creative person when I am in that theater working.
Okay.
So my spirituality is the creative work that I do. I am not going to sit separately and meditate. That is meditation for me, because I am not thinking about something else while I am doing that. I am right there tackling a creative difficulty which I have to tackle. That would mean that it needs my complete attention without other thoughts coming into it. And if that's what we call meditation, to be in that moment without other things coming in, be invested in that moment of silence,
Yeah.
I am doing my spirituality. I do it every day. I don't have separate time for it, but this is what it is for me. It is very sacred for me in that sense, not in a religious sense. It is very, very sacred for me, and I will protect it with everything that I have. And that is the creative time for me, and that is my spirituality.
How do you think, like, or like, according to why do you think, like, see, there's so many, I don't want to like segregate people, like a star. I mean, going by the like the nomenclature, like people say he's a superstar, this guy's a star, and something like that. All actors from different regions, everyone will be treated equally at this place, is what I have, like, we have seen, we have witnessed, we have heard about it. We have to do it a deliberate attempt, or like it is just a ground rule which you guys have set?
It's a ground rule. Also, I think, see, we in a space of learning, everybody is equal.
Perfect.
Isn't it? So it's not that just because you are known, you're going to be treated differently. There might just be another person who has equal talent but just didn't have the opportunity. That's all.
Yeah, perfect. Very well
Right.
said.
So how are we going to measure it?
But how do you guys usually tackle those situations or like those?
I don't think, fortunately, all this while, um, even when very known faces have come to Adishakti, I think they have felt the freedom to shed
Oh wow,
those persona and come here as a student.
that's the power of this place.
That's what I have felt. I have not seen anybody who have come here behave like a star.
Yeah.
They might just be when they're getting out of the gate, which I am not witnessing it.
Yeah.
While they are here, they behave very, very normal. And I tend to think that's how it must be for them outside, but I don't know if it is like that. But here in this reality, if there is a skin that protects them from who they are and they have to put that skin on while they're outside of this gate, I think they feel secure enough to keep that outside the gate and come in with who they are. At least that's what I have seen. And I don't think it's a deliberate attempt. And I think that's also the creative energy of the space, that you feel slightly naked.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you can
There's nothing,
put on.
yeah. But do you guys ever feel like the minute when they step out of the place and when they, I mean, of course, when we proudly say that we are Adi Shakti, right? Do you think it's going to be more responsible on your shoulders with the way they shape up their career?
We feel very happy
Okay.
when people excel. We feel very, very proud. But it's their hard work. We have done whatever we can, but it's not also sufficient time.
Yeah, sufficient time.
It's not sufficient time. But how you absorb something, how you have the power to turn it around to the medium that you are going to excel in, it is the power of that individual. And if they are doing it, the credit goes to them, I feel. So I get so excited, when we see, our people on screen. And I get very tense to watch also. It's like, because I'm like, oh my God, they're going to make a mistake. I get very tense. Most of the time I'm doing this because I feel like, when they feel so close to you, you want them to excel. So any mistake is, of course, there's not going to be anything that you will see, but that angst of, I hope it's going to be good. I hope it's going to be excellent. That is always there for me. I feel excited but also nervous to watch. I just want it to be very good. I don't give myself any option, but it to be good. Not the movie, but them to be, I tell in my head, they have to be good. So yeah, I get very excited.
That's why I keep saying that more than anything, a wonderful mentor or an artist, more than anything, the humanity from your side always makes you special of who you are.
Very excited.
Nice. So, people, if they want to come to Adi Shakti, what are the ways? Like, I mean, for the creative purpose, I'm saying, apart from the staycation, like.
Just write to us, come and stay. It's very simple. We have no red tape. We don't have multiple ways. Write to us on one mail, and it's just about when do you want to come, when do you want to stay, how long will you stay. That's it. It's done. You come, and then if you want us to read the work or look at the work, and you want to just share the work, that's also something that we do, because we get very excited watching new work, to hear new things. So that also happens. So it's engagement is up to them. We are just an email and a phone call away.
Yeah.
That's it. It's very simple.
Even my process was the same. I emailed, then I messaged Nimmy. She was very sweet enough to respond to me, and it happened. Okay, one final question. How was the experience coming to this show?
To?
This show.
You are one tornado, I feel. And you have this great knack at engaging people without making them feel awkward. And I think that's very important. And I feel it's great when somebody is fully immersed in something that they are doing. Because we do that.
Yeah.
So when we see that happening in another person, it's a very heartening feeling. And I think that's where I was saying, when it is not a job for you,
Yeah.
and I think that's when it comes across.
Yeah.
And I
Wow.
think it's been great to be sitting here and talking to you.
Yes, thank you, Nimmy. I mean, it really means a lot. And like I mentioned it to Vinay sir as well. So very, very, I mean, it's always pleasure to have you on my show. I mean, it's one of the kinds, because usually I have always had the opportunity to interview the act. Oh yeah, I mean, do you really want to get into mainstream acting?
I wouldn't mind actually
Oh, wow.
now,
Nice.
because I feel now I have the necessary skills.
Wow, come on, I say.
Meaning, like, I feel a bit more confident.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not been a bad experience up till now.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think
You should. You must.
I could be ready for it.
Here's what she's saying. All the fellow directors, the script writers. I mean, it's always wonderful having you on the show, and thanks for the lovely insight. And I wish, and more than anything, this place truly, truly deserves people like you. And for all the people, it was not part of this particular interview, but truly, this place deserves more funds, according to me, I feel.
Yes. And
More
your
than
support.
I know,
Yeah.
need support also. So we are just one phone call away, and Nimmy is also one phone call away. And you can follow Adishakthi on their Instagram pages and social media handles. And it's a wonderful place to experience more than explore. It's a wonderful place to experience. So thank you, Nimmy. Thank you so much for being part of the show.
Thank you.
So on that note, ಈ ಶೋನ ಮುಕ್ತಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಲೈಕ್ ಐ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್, ಕನ್ನಡ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಶೋ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಬೇಜಾರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಡಿ. ಸೊ ಯಾಕಂತಂದರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಅ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಮತ್ತು ಮುಂದಿನ ಸಂಚಿಕೆ ವಿತ್ ಅ ನ್ಯೂ ಆರ್ಟಿಸ್ಟ್, ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಟ್ಫುಲ್ ಸೆಷನ್. ಟಿಲ್ ದೆನ್ ಸೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್, ಆರ್ ಜೆ ಮಯೂರ ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಗುರು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.